Welcome back. It is Tuesday, November 26th in the NBA. My 5 best bets are on the way. If you are new, my name's Austin from Call on Our Shot. We got a couple player props, a spread pick, a same game parlay in this video. But as always, we begin the video recapping how we did yesterday. Wasn't a bad day for us. 3-2 in the NBA. We had Keegan Murray's over in points. I'm just looking at a shot 6 for 15. But luckily, he came through. Brandon Miller's under in three-pointers, sweat-free. Nikola Jokic under in rebounds, sweat-free. 2 losers, the Hawks -2. Bad read there. That was only a half unit play. And then we lost our Sabonis rebounds and assists, plus a little bit of a sprinkle on his triple-double. Overall, 1.25 units lost there. He looked good after the first quarter, like 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Nothing else really after that. It was a really weird game for the Kings. I thought they'd be a little bit more competitive, but they weren't. A 3-2 day. 13-5 run, though. Obviously, sour point that we did lose day 5 of our ladder challenge. Technically, that's not tracked on the NBA because we lost in the NFL. Today, we'll have another attempt at it. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, but I have nothing else to promote. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day, a great Tuesday. Let's dive into some picks, and we're going to dive into our first one of the day. My favorite player prop of the day, only sticking to 1 unit plays today. I don't love this. If I had to make anything a big play, it would be this one. And he might honestly find his way into the ladder challenge. Tyler Herro of the Miami Heat over 25.5 points plus assists, -115 on DraftKings. Now, you could play him for more than 1 unit, but as I said, there's a chance he finds his way into the ladder challenge, whether it's for like 14 to 18 points, somewhere in there. Pretty confident in Tyler Herro tonight at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, Tyler Herro is not a guy I don't think we've really bet on this season, but I like his line style. I like his matchup as well. And Herro's last 3 games, he's averaged 13 potential assists. The only problem is the teams, they're not making shots. 4.7 assists per game, 6.3 adjusted assists. Now, what do adjusted assists get us? Yeah, nothing. But it is good to note that he's had 13 potential assists, so eventually those shots are going to start falling. And even if they don't continue to fall, and he's still getting the 4.7 potential assists or assists per game, I can live with it there, because honestly, this likely comes down to his points, which I do like his over in points. I just added the assists because I saw the potential assists were pretty high, and he's really one of their only main facilitators out on the court. Basically him and Jimmy Butler. That's basically it. But Tyler Herro, we've obviously seen he's going to need a lot of points tonight. He's averaging 23.8 points per game. He's over this line in 8 of 14 games, so a little over 50%. Is under in 2 straight games. He's a combined 3 for 20 from the 3-point line in those 2 games. In last game versus Dallas, 8 for 25 field goal attempts. I mean, woof, what the heck happened in that last game against Dallas? I expect him to bounce back here. He will see a little bit less volume with Terry Rozier expected back, but Rozier, I don't know what's going on with him. He has not looked good this season, and he's really not a huge part of this offense. Watch him score 20 points tonight. Certainly capable, but again, this is really the Herro and Butler show for this offense. And like I said, last game versus Dallas was Herro's 3rd game where he just couldn't make a shot, less than 40%. The fact that he's played 14 games and only had 3 games below 40%, pretty impressive, honestly. And in the previous 2 games where he shot below 40, the next game he bounced back with 28 and 34 points. 32 and 41 points plus assists. So obviously easily clearing this over this line. And again, I love this matchup for him against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks, obviously, we always say take your guards against the Bucks. Why? Because with Brook Lopez or Bobby Portis, they play drop coverage like crazy. And in turn, we see guards destroy them. And that is because the Bucks give up the 2nd most pull-up 3-point attempts in the league. Herro leads the Heat in pull-up jumpers, pull-up 3-pointer attempts, and he's shooting 40% on those shots. Herro's last 5 against Milwaukee, 35, 30, 15, 38, and 24 points plus assists. So he's torched them in a couple of those games. The 2 games he went under, I believe one he didn't shoot well, and both he didn't even play 30 minutes. Herro's a pretty big part of this rotation in an NBA in-season tournament cup game. He should be locked into 32 to 36-ish minutes tonight, and I really think there's a good chance he can easily hit this over in points alone. But I like the assists, given the Milwaukee Bucks aren't the best defense, in my opinion. So we should see Herro play a pretty big role on this Miami Heat offense tonight. I really like his over 25.5 points plus assists. You could take PRAs, which I think is like 30.5, 31.5, but I don't really want to count on any get rebounds with all the big men out there talking about, like, obviously Bobby Portis, but Giannis, Brook Lopez, Bam too. But and I just really rather not count on rebounds. So I'll take the points plus assists at 25.5. My next play is just going to be a points line. And it's going to be a guy that we actually faded him a couple days ago, and it worked out well for us. That's Alperen Sengun, over 18.5 points, -120 on Bet365, another 1 unit play here. Now, there is a chance this line bumps up even more. That would be due to Jalen Green's status. He is currently questionable with an illness. I don't think it really matters if he plays or not. If he doesn't play, we should get more usage. But again, I'm betting this more on matchup and not saying, please, 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 Jalen Green don't play so we can cash our bet. That's probably not the case. I mean, CLV and sometimes in NBA, especially for props, can mean a little bit, but not a ton. But I like this matchup here for him against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, obviously, the Timberwolves are a pretty good defense. They have a lot of elite perimeter defenders like Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I believe your best success is actually not going at those guys. It's instead trying to get to the paint, which is where Sengun lives. And we've seen in his last 4 games versus Rudy Gobert, he's played all right. I mean, we're thinking about this team when they had Cat on the team as well. So you have Cat and Gobert down low, kind of hard to score there. But 18, 21, 19, and 15 points. So not bad. Only over in 2 of 4, missed on the hook once, but 15 plus in all those games. We like that. He's attempted 15, 12, 17, and 14 field goal attempts, plus 4, 8, 3, and 2 free throw attempts. So the volume's kind of there. I mean, you're getting me like 14, 15 shots, some free throw attempts too. One of the games, I believe he went 0 for 2 from free throw line. The other one, he went 4 for 8. So hopefully he's knocking down some of those shots. But again, I like this matchup for him because we talk about Sengun. What he's mostly, if you will let him be a facilitator, he'll do that. But that's not really how the Timberwolves play defense. I mean, they play you one-on-one. They're not coming off shooters, doubling guys. So they're going to let Sengun go one-on-one on Rudy Gobert. And if that's how they want to lose, they'll live with it. So they're going to live with just Sengun going at them. And like I said, this is a Timberwolves team that does not give up a lot of three-pointers. So they'll let Sengun just hopefully get a lot of usage, and that's what we're looking for. And Minnesota struggled in the paint. They allowed the 7th most points per game in the paint, where Sengun, 84% of his points come in the paint, in the restricted area, non-restricted area. That's where he does his job. So again, this should be a good spot for Sengun to get some more volume. And if he can get me 15 shots, feel pretty good. He's also stepped it up a little bit in the last few road games. He's averaged or scored 27, 20, and 18 points, but attempted 17, 15, and 21 shots. So last few road games, he's seen his teammates struggling and he picks up the slack. I don't like the matchups for a bunch of his other teammates. So I look for Sengun to step it up tonight. I like his over in points at 18.5. I take it at 19.5. Hasn't had the best start to his season, especially in October. November's been better for him. Coming off, a couple okay games, one bad one against the Blazers, one good. I think this is a good spot for him. It might not seem like it against Rudy Gobert, but I do think the volume's there, and I think he can score against Gobert. He's pretty crafty. We see what Jokic does to Gobert all the time. Let's hope Sengun takes a page out of that playbook. Now I'm going to throw it to Logan. Logan, I'm in desperate need of a winner. Hawks. Yeah, no, we're going to move on from that. But you have another pick, a team that has respected our money in the last few days. Logan, what are you rolling with?
So for my best bet of the day, I'm rolling with the Jazz +3, -105 odds on Caesars is currently your best value there. Now, where this line closes, your guess is as good as mine. The line opened at 4.5. It has ticked down in favor of the Jazz, but guys, we saw yesterday with that Hawks pick. I mean, it just doesn't matter where CLV is. I mean, they opened as +2 dogs. They become -3.5 favorites. CLV is a crazy thing in the NBA, so it doesn't make a whole world of a difference because these teams, night in and night out, just decide when they're going to really give it their A game. I like the Jazz in this spot because last time we backed them, they respected our money. They just actually faced the Spurs team 2 games ago at San Antonio and lost 126-118. In that game, important to note, the Jazz led by 20 at one point in that game. Again, they just couldn't close out a game. Playing back in Utah, though, that's when I like backing this Jazz team. That was when we just backed them in their most recent game. Took them +9. They won outright against the Knicks. They definitely do play better in Utah and use that to their advantage. And their offense right now is clicking. 117 plus, and they're in 4 out of their last 5 games. That's what we want. If you're going to cover a spread like this, got to be a good offensive team. I do not want this turning into a 106, 108 type game. I think this is a more higher scoring game, just like they just played. And we know that the Spurs defense is elite. I mean, they're one of the better units in the NBA. But I think we saw what the Jazz already did against them. They had no trouble really cracking that Jazz defense. They play fast, 11th in pace for Utah. They want to avoid that Spurs half-court defense. I think that's what they once again do. With Walker Kessler back, we do like to see that as well. This is San Antonio's first road game in 9 days as well. We know Utah is a tough place to play. Don't overlook the Jazz at home. Come fourth quarter, that altitude just really seems to get to some of the away teams. I've seen it time and time again. Hopefully that's the case once again for the Spurs, and the Jazz can get a little bit of mini revenge after 2 games ago. So I am rolling with the Jazz as my best bet of the day. Love this pick. let's get back on track with the spread picks. But Austin, throwing it back to you.
Let's hope the Jazz can lock in. I don't have any plays in that game. I did look at a couple unders, but I won't get into any unders there. No unders actually today on the card. My final two picks, we're going to talk about an SGP, and then we'll talk about the ladder. Same game parlay. Let's go to that Suns and Lakers game. Anthony Davis, 25 plus points. And then LeBron and Kevin Durant, each 15 points a pop. This is plus 105 on FanDuel, a 1-unit SGP, 3 legs. Obviously, if there's an individual line here, it would be Anthony Davis's over in points. I was honestly waking up. I was like, please, please, please be 25 and a half. And they put up to 28 and a half. And I was like, damn it, man. I really wanted a 26 and a half line for AD. But getting him up to 27, 28 and a half, I don't really want to do that. That would be where my head would be if you're like, Austin, I need an individual line. Which guy's matchup do you like the most? It would be Anthony Davis. He also could find his way into the ladder challenge. I don't know if I want to lose on AD, but again, if I'm putting Tyler Herro in there, we're willing to lose on anyone at that point. But again, I really like Anthony Davis in this spot here. I'll talk about him last and why I like him. As for Kevin Durant, he appears to be making his return from injury. Obviously, some question marks there, but it's Kevin Durant. He scored 15 points in all 9 games, 20 plus in 8 of 9. 30 plus in both games versus the Lakers. They just don't have a good matchup for him. They're not going to double KD, so he'll get his opportunities. One of the most consistent scorers in NBA history. Pretty confident he can get us 15. As for LeBron James, he's done 15 plus and 15 of 16. In fact, one of the games he didn't get 15 this year, his only game, was against the Phoenix Suns. In that game, 3 for 14, missed 3 of his 6 free throw attempts. I'm not too concerned about that game. LeBron's coming off a game against the Nuggets. He sucked. He scored 18 points at 6 turnovers. Expect him to be much better tonight. You know the coaching staff probably got on him. I know it's not a good look. Well, you obviously don't want to get on LeBron James because he's one of the best players of all time, but I think it's a bad look for him to come out and only score 18 of 6 turnovers, look really sloppy. So they probably got on him a little bit this in between the last 2 games. So expect him to come out pretty motivated. And then obviously Anthony Davis, we need 25 from him. This season he's averaging 30. He's at 25 and 11 of 15. That included 2 games against the Suns, 29 and 35. He, too, is coming off a bad game. Only 14 points on 6 of 19 shooting versus Denver. He just didn't look comfortable there. Wasn't really attacking the hoop. That'll be different tonight. With Yusuf Nurkic, Mason Plumlee, those guys can't guard him. Let's be honest. They can't guard him. I don't see them doubling him either. This should be a great matchup for AD. I like LeBron and Kevin Durant to get us 15 a pop. And that's a little SGP. Probably won't be the ladder, but I do like that one. An SGP, 1-unit, 3-legger. That's a winner. My final play of the day, 5th and final one, will be day 1 of the ladder challenge. I know. Lamar Jackson sucked the soul out of me, man. Day 5 is always that big one where you're like, all right, we can get to day 5. We're halfway done. We get over $300. That's a lot of money. And then we couldn't get it done. Lamar Jackson. I had some NBA legs that I liked. The problem was the NBA legs I really liked were like minus 800, and that wasn't going to get it done. So I would have had to do a 5-leg one yesterday, which I don't like doing that. So painful. It is what it is. We're moving on. But either way, we're going to dive into this one. I don't know what it will be, but it will be posted this afternoon. I'm going to wait again for those alternate lines to pop up on FanDuel. I might include Tyler Herro, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. We'll see. I think that Suns and Lakers game is a tight one. So that's obviously where I want to pick some tight games. And we'll see what we find and cook up for you guys. But as always, stay tuned for the pinned comment. You'll see it on YouTube Shorts. And if you follow me on any other social platform, you'll see it there. So day 1 of Ladder Challenge posted later this afternoon. I'll say somewhere in the 3 to 4 p.m. window. I'll give you plenty of time to lock it in before the games start. But either way, those are our favorite picks. Let's continue this 13-5 run. Hopefully turn it into an 18-5 run. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's Austin. I'm signing out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.